Greetings and salutations. My name is Nikola. On this week of Cash&Card Leather Company, we are going to be making a leather notebook cover. I've been trying to do a notebook type thing for a really long time. For the longest time, I was determined to bind my own notebooks. So instead of making a notebook cover that you, the customer, can put your own notebook in, I really wanted to make my own books, essentially from scratch, like my own paper and everything. I still want to do that, admittedly. However, I just don't have the tools right now, and I frankly don't have the time to learn. I've watched videos on it, it's really cool. So this is my initial attempt, and at some point down the line, I will do a proper binded book, like notebook, and a book of quotes and whatever else. One thing I really like about this cover is that the closure is it's not a sand brown, it's not a post, it's not a snap where you gotta like press it down. It's not a piece of lace. It is actually a magnetic closure, so you don't have to press it down at all. It's really easy to take up, really easy to close, basically really easy to open, really easy to close. But when it's closed, it stays closed. No pressure, no anything. And it's also really small and thin, so it doesn't mess with your writing, which is really nice. This is my third attempt at making this. Made a couple of prototypes. If you follow me on Instagram, i.am.nikola_Arangelovich, there should be a link in the description. You will have seen that I posted pictures of the previous versions of this notebook cover. I was really determined to do some kind of pin pad, like something where you can put a stick pin, or like a normal lapel pin in. I just couldn't figure out how I wanted it to work, and frankly, I didn't know if anyone would use it. If you would use something like that, let me know, and I might try and do another version that actually contains that feature. Okay, the leather I'm using is a 4 to 5 ounce, I think it's Derby from Horween. I freaking love this leather. Ironically, originally I was going to use it as a tablecloth for the craft shows I do, and I ended up just like liking it just enough to not want to use it for that because I knew it would get beat up. But I didn't know what I was going to use it for, so it sat. I had like two of these, two sides, and they sat for so long, and I finally started using it for stuff, and I'm so happy that I did. I've used it for bags. I'm using it for this. I've used it for wallets. Like, this is the same leather I used for the trifold wallet. Fantastic. Okay? So here I am putting in holes for that's the back. And that piece you can see sitting there that I'm about to put holes in now is going to be riveted onto the back outside of the notebook cover, and then at the end it's going to have the magnet that closes it, and you'll be able to slide a pen on that. I think that's a really cool. Now, something I'm trying to get better at is doing groove lines in very close quarters, like where the piece is really small. So as you can see, that post sticking out the side of the groover kind of gets in the way of your finger. Ideally, I would just buy a couple of these groovers and have them set different sizes and just cut the post off so I don't have that problem. But these groovers are pretty expensive, so not quite there yet. So I just got to deal with the post. I try and put groove lines on as much stuff as I can, because if you watched my I think the title was How to Sell Your Goods for More, something like that. I really like edge work, and so I try and do as much as possible, and I think it just makes it look really completed. So there I'm just clipping the corners because I don't have a round end punch that is a 1 inch. So then it's just going to look cleaner. And now I am beveling. I'm only beveling the top side of the square part, but I'll bevel both sides of the... Oh, great. This is out of the shot. You frickin' goober. Okay, well, you know what, boys and girls, sometimes this happens. Yeah, so I'm beveling both sides of the actual piece that's going to go around and to the front side. Yeah. Great, this is out of the shot. Okay, let me drink some coffee while you look at a wood thing on your screen. Wow, and this coffee cup is empty. Everything's going wrong. Okay, I am trying out a new foil embossing technique in this video. And I actually really like it. It's a little... You kind of got to get the feel for it. But basically I'm taking a heat gun that I bought at Home Depot. And I have my brass stamp. This really only works if it's a solid brass stamp, because it can handle the heat and it'll heat up properly. I don't know if it would work with a magnesium stamp or not. But I have it set on the quartz, because the quartz is heat resistant. Nothing's going to happen with that. And then I'm wearing protective gloves. Also, I got them at Home Depot. Whatever. I think I got them... I was renting a tool, and they gave them for free. I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for foil embossing. So I've got some gold foil. You can find this on Amazon. And now I'm just setting the stamp, and I'm just going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp the product just like I would any other time, except this time it's heated up with some foil underneath. And you got to really feel for the pressure. So I'm going to do a lot of this on scrap leather. So the foil didn't like stick to the leather perfectly. It's pretty good, but not perfect. And obviously I want it to be perfect. So that's just something I'm going to have to mess around with. I freaking love this glue. Okay? This is awesome. I don't know why it took me so long to switch over to this glue, but this stuff freaking sticks so well. It doesn't stick to itself in the bottle, so it stays liquid and it doesn't get like stopped up in the bottle. And the way the bottle is designed, it's super, super easy to put on just enough onto your areas where you're gluing. So, it's just fantastic. It dries really quickly. Yeah. So I'm very, very happy with this glue. I love finding new products that just work really, really well and are really cheap. Like that bottle was, I think, like $2. So that's freaking awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gluing. These are the pockets that are going to go on either side, and the pocket that's going on the inside of the front of the notebook is going to be for papers. Like if you, for whatever reason, if you have extra like reference papers for something you're writing down in your notebook or whatever you might need, or some pages fall out if it's a really, really worn notebook and you want to keep them around, you can do that. The back pocket is to slide the back of the notebook into, so it stays in the inside the cover. And I'm gonna clip the corners and sand it. I don't show the sanding for reasons I've already said in other videos. But I will show clipping the corners, and then I should also show beveling the edges, and then and you'll see me sew it on the sewing machine. Yeah, with the gluing, you just want to make sure there's no air pockets, because if there are, that'll come up later, whether it moves when you're sewing it or it'll just mess up the edges later when someone is actually using the product. So you really, really want to make sure you have even pressure everywhere. Honestly, I could always just use the weighted roller. I just don't sometimes. I don't know why. But yeah, you can see I'm being very careful. Okay, yeah. Now here I am taking my little corner punch here, and I'm just clipping the corners here. Boom. Yeah. I'm really trying to work on my angles and whatever for the camera to kind of give you guys a better idea of just the entire process and make you feel more like you're actually in the shop with me. So if you ever have any ideas of what you would like to see, or if you like a certain shot more than another shot, please tell me with a comment, because your feedback really helps me improve these videos, and my end goal is to make videos as good as I can for all of you to enjoy. So here I am beveling. I do not show me burnishing it, primarily because I can't actually get a good angle with my current camera gear to do that. I've tried in the past and it's just didn't really work out. Yeah, so beveling the edges, and I mean, you've seen me do this 1,000 times. I think I hit a soft spot there. If you hit a soft spot, take your time. If you try and rush through it, you're going to ruin the entire project. Just take your time and just go 1 millimeter at a time, or 1/8 of an inch at a time. I know those measurements are not the same, but you know, bite me. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you actually get a good view of what the backside looks like. I don't know if I actually showed the setting the rivets. I don't think I did. But yeah. The beveling continues. Yes, I know I'm trying to eliminate all these dead spots. But doing this in one take means that there's going to be a little bit of awkwardness in this recording. But I like doing it in one take. Okay, here I am. Finally, I'm sewing. I always go with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Really, for a sewing machine, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with a sewing machine, do 1/4 inch, because that's just the edge of the presser foot, and it's just easier. I don't know why I always do 1/8 of an inch. I really should just do 1/4 inch. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it for the final version that I'll post on the website. Who knows? Yeah. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of just kind of blank spots in this recording, but the corners are tough. The corners, it took me a long time to get used to that. Okay, here's the end of the recording. Enjoy some nice ASMR here at the end. I will see you later. Peace